You're listening to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, created to help you succeed in your Security Plus certification journey. Learn more at baremetalcyber.com, where additional prepcasts, books, and training materials await. Let's get started. Vulnerability reporting is most effective when it achieves three primary objectives: clarity, actionability, and accountability. Clarity ensures that the reader understands the issue without ambiguity, describing what was found, where it resides, and why it matters. Actionability means the report does not stop at pointing out the problem, but guides the recipient toward resolving it with remediation steps, references, or proposed controls. Accountability assigns responsibility by documenting ownership and deadlines, making it clear who must act. When these objectives are met consistently, vulnerability reporting becomes more than a bureaucratic step. It becomes a catalyst for risk reduction and operational improvement. Different audiences consume vulnerability reports, and tailoring communication to each group is essential. Engineers need technical detail, exact configurations, affected software versions, and reproduction steps. Managers require timelines, resource needs, and progress tracking to coordinate their teams. Executives benefit from summaries of business impact and risk posture, expressed in non-technical language that supports strategic decisions. Auditors expect documented evidence and traceable records to demonstrate compliance. A one-size-fits-all report fails to meet these diverse needs. Hardened organizations prepare multiple views of the same findings, ensuring every stakeholder receives the information most relevant to their role. The remediation ticket is the heart of actionable reporting, and its essential fields must be complete and consistent. Each ticket should include a vulnerability identifier, such as a CVE or internal ID, to ensure traceability. Evidence like logs or screenshots demonstrates validity. The impact statement explains what risk the vulnerability poses to the organization. Ownership assigns responsibility for addressing the issue, and the remediation plan provides a roadmap for how it will be resolved. Without these fields, tickets lose accountability and clarity, often lingering unresolved. Effective reporting ensures every ticket carries enough context to drive timely action. Severity and priority labels help guide urgency, but only if used consistently. Severity reflects the inherent risk of the vulnerability itself, often based on technical scoring systems like CVSS. Priority, on the other hand, represents the organization's decision on how urgently to address it, considering context such as business criticality or compensating controls. Without clear distinctions, teams may conflate the two, patching issues in the wrong order or misjudging urgency. Standardized definitions prevent confusion, ensuring that high-severity issues always receive the right priority, while less urgent flaws are managed systematically. Including reproduction steps and exploit evidence strengthens the credibility of reports and accelerates remediation. Reproduction steps describe exactly how the vulnerability can be triggered, allowing engineers to observe and verify the flaw. Exploit evidence, such as a harmless proof of concept, confirms that the issue is not hypothetical but practical. Together, these details reduce debate about validity and help remediation teams test their fixes. Hardened organizations provide reproduction instructions whenever possible, balancing the need for clarity with responsible handling to prevent misuse of sensitive exploit information. Compensating controls must also be documented when fixes are deferred or unavailable. For example, a firewall rule may mitigate exposure until a patch is released. Reports should describe the control in place, how it is verified, and any residual risks that remain. Without this documentation, organizations risk assuming mitigations are effective without proof. Reporting compensating controls ensures visibility for auditors and accountability for owners, turning temporary fixes into managed, trackable actions rather than forgotten workarounds. Hardened reporting captures both what was done and how it was validated. Privacy considerations are critical when reports involve sensitive data. Findings may reveal personal information, customer records, or confidential business details. Reports should redact or anonymize such data before distribution, particularly when tickets are shared across teams. For instance, demonstrating a SQL injection vulnerability should not expose live customer names in screenshots. Hardened organizations enforce policies that protect privacy while still providing adequate evidence. This balance ensures vulnerability reporting supports remediation without creating new compliance violations or eroding trust in how data is handled internally. Escalation channels must exist for vulnerabilities that are critical or under active exploitation. These cases cannot wait for standard ticket queues or routine remediation cycles. Reporting should flag them with clear labels and push them into accelerated workflows, sometimes triggering war rooms or executive notifications. Escalation ensures that the right people are aware immediately and that mitigation actions start quickly. Hardened organizations define escalation pathways in advance, so reporting does not just identify urgent issues, but also delivers them into channels where fast, coordinated responses can occur. Bundling related findings into consolidated reports reduces noise and makes remediation more efficient. Instead of creating dozens of separate tickets for the same missing patch across multiple systems, a consolidated report can group them under one remediation campaign. This prevents teams from feeling overwhelmed by repetitive tickets and helps managers coordinate fixes more strategically. Bundling also clarifies the scope of impact, making it easier to allocate resources. Hardened reporting practices strike a balance, bundling logically related findings while still preserving enough granularity to track ownership and progress. Timestamps and audit trails provide accountability across the vulnerability lifecycle. Every report should record when a finding was discovered, when it was reported, and when remediation actions began. This chronology demonstrates diligence and supports compliance requirements. Without timestamps, it is impossible to measure metrics like mean time to remediate or prove timely response during audits. Hardened organizations integrate timestamping automatically into reporting systems, ensuring every action is recorded in an immutable trail that stands up to internal and external scrutiny alike. Templates and automation play a vital role in standardizing reporting. Templates ensure that essential fields are always included, reducing variation across teams and increasing consistency for stakeholders. Automation further reduces manual effort by populating fields with information from scans, asset inventories, or ticketing systems. This minimizes human error, speeds up reporting, and ensures findings are logged quickly and accurately. Hardened organizations blend structured templates with automated enrichment, turning reporting from a manual burden into a streamlined, reliable process. A practical reporting checklist ensures completeness and consistency. For each vulnerability, include references such as CVE or CWE identifiers, the list of affected assets, and evidence like proof of concept output or screenshots. Add a proposed fix or vendor advisory, document mitigation steps already in place, and specify the assigned owner with a target remediation date. This checklist transforms reporting from a variable activity into a repeatable standard. Hardened organizations institutionalize such checklists so that every report delivers the clarity, actionability, and accountability needed to drive effective remediation. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Dashboards provide real-time visibility into the state of vulnerabilities across an organization. Instead of waiting for periodic reports, stakeholders can view live metrics such as the number of open vulnerabilities, how long they have remained unresolved, and whether remediation is tracking against SLA commitments. Dashboards enable security and IT teams to focus on what requires immediate attention while giving executives a high-level view of progress. Hardened organizations design dashboards that are role-aware, ensuring engineers see technical details while leadership sees trends and risk posture. By centralizing this information, dashboards transform reporting into an ongoing stream of actionable intelligence. Executive summaries are an important complement to technical reports. They distill vulnerability data into high-level insights about organizational risk without overwhelming leadership with jargon or exploit details. Instead of listing vulnerabilities, summaries highlight trends such as reductions in backlog, exposure of critical systems, or emerging risks tied to industry threats. By presenting vulnerabilities as business risks rather than technical flaws, executive summaries enable leaders to allocate resources, adjust strategies, and communicate risk posture effectively. Hardened reporting recognizes that executives make decisions based on risk impact, not CVE lists, so summaries are tailored accordingly. Automated report delivery cadence ensures stakeholders receive updates regularly without manual intervention. Security operations teams may need daily digests to track immediate issues. IT operations teams may prefer weekly summaries to align with patch cycles. Executives may find monthly reports sufficient to monitor trends. By tailoring cadence to audience needs, organizations reduce noise while maintaining visibility. Automation guarantees consistency, preventing missed updates or forgotten reports. Hardened programs align report delivery schedules with decision-making cycles, ensuring the right people receive the right information at the right time. Linking vulnerability reports to business risk registers provides governance context. Risk registers track organizational risks at the strategic level, and integrating vulnerability data connects technical findings to business concerns. For example, a critical flaw in a payment system might be linked directly to a business risk entry for revenue continuity. This linkage ensures vulnerabilities are not siloed in IT, but become part of enterprise risk management discussions. Hardened organizations elevate reporting by embedding vulnerabilities into risk frameworks, aligning technical work with broader governance and compliance structures. Formatting recommendations improve report readability and effectiveness. A concise executive summary should appear at the top, giving decision-makers a quick grasp of the issue. Detailed evidence, logs, and reproduction steps should follow as appendices for technical staff. This layered format ensures every audience finds what they need, without wading through irrelevant details. Hardened reporting practices adopt consistent formatting standards across teams, reducing confusion and making it easier for stakeholders to navigate reports. A well-structured format turns raw vulnerability data into clear, actionable documents. Third-party vulnerability disclosures require special handling. When vulnerabilities are found in vendor products, coordination is essential to ensure patches or mitigations are delivered quickly. Organizations must report responsibly to vendors, track their response, and apply updates once released. Reports should document communication with vendors and any interim compensating controls. Hardened organizations also prepare for the possibility that vendors may delay fixes, requiring risk acceptance or alternative mitigations. By treating third-party disclosures as part of the reporting ecosystem, organizations ensure supply chain risks are visible and managed. External researcher reports add another dimension to vulnerability reporting. These individuals may discover flaws independently and submit them through disclosure programs. To encourage safe reporting, organizations must provide secure channels such as PGP encrypted email or dedicated portals. Anonymization helps protect researcher identities where appropriate, while structured intake processes ensure findings are validated and logged promptly. Hardened organizations see researchers as partners, not adversaries, and create reporting workflows that are safe, respectful, and aligned with responsible disclosure practices. Tracking remediation progress is as important as reporting initial findings. Reports should indicate not only when a vulnerability is discovered but also how remediation is advancing. If a fix fails or regressions occur, tickets should automatically reopen, ensuring no vulnerability is prematurely considered closed. This creates accountability and maintains focus until vulnerabilities are conclusively resolved. Hardened programs embed progress tracking into their dashboards and reports, making remediation status visible and preventing silent failures. Feedback loops with stakeholders ensure reports remain useful over time. Engineers may need more reproduction detail, executives may want clearer business impact statements, and auditors may require additional evidence. Collecting and acting on this feedback refines reporting practices, ensuring reports deliver maximum value. Hardened organizations institutionalize these loops, conducting periodic reviews of report effectiveness and adjusting templates, content, or cadence accordingly. Effective reporting evolves with audience needs, remaining a living process rather than a static template. Training stakeholders to interpret reports is an often overlooked but vital practice. Non-technical decision-makers may struggle to understand vulnerability reports, leading to delayed or misguided responses. Training helps them interpret severity labels, understand timelines, and appreciate risk in context. Hardened programs ensure that managers and executives receive the background they need to act confidently on vulnerability reports. By building this literacy, organizations strengthen decision-making and close the gap between technical teams and leadership. Archival and retention policies ensure reports remain available for future audits and reviews. Vulnerability reports often serve as evidence during compliance assessments or forensic investigations. Policies must specify how long reports are retained, how they are stored securely, and how they can be retrieved efficiently. Hardened organizations integrate retention into reporting workflows, ensuring evidence is not lost and that historical trends remain analyzable. Proper archival transforms reporting from a short-term communication tool into a long-term accountability mechanism. Ultimately, effective vulnerability reporting is about turning findings into timely, informed action, standardizing formats, automating delivery, and tailoring communication to each audience ensure clarity and efficiency. Embedding reports into governance processes connects technical details to business priorities, while feedback and training ensure continual improvement. Hardened organizations understand that vulnerabilities are not resolved by discovery alone, but by communication that drives the right response. Effective reporting makes that connection possible, transforming raw data into organizational resilience. Thanks for tuning in to the Bare Metal Cyber Prepcast, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and insights. Remember to subscribe at baremetalcyber.com so you never miss an update. And visit cyberauthor.me for best-selling cybersecurity books that equip you with expert knowledge. Until next time, stay secure and stay vigilant.